This is a pearl guitar. Now, Jack Westheimer, Matsumoku factory in Japan. Jack Westheimer was Teisco Del Rey guitars and Cort guitars. He was one of the inventors, well, founders of those companies. And then he was asked by Pearl Drums to make a guitar for them. So this is the copy that he made of a Gibson Les Paul. Now, I like that design. Someone has come along with a paintbrush and just painted it over the black, but I actually quite like that design. It has some little bits and pieces that need to be touched up. I might touch it up. I might. Somebody, I think, has tried to repair a corner there. I'm not going to touch that. But it has some issues. Something's wrong with the pickups, as you can see. Poking down through there. These knobs, I've got some serious issues. That's grinding and grunching, and that one's jerky. So we'll look at that closer when we do the test of the inside. But there's a little bit of cleaning up to do. The neck's had a fair amount of wear and tear, but I wouldn't say it's nowhere near in need of a fret job yet. But overall, it's not in what you would call good, clean condition. The guitar, oh God, I'll talk to you about the weight of the guitar in a second when I turn it around. But they look similar to tulips. Lots of work can be done, but they're not tulips. But the neck is not bad. It's got a few dings and chunks in there. I've taken the covers off to have a look inside. That's the original switch. The casino chip is missing from the other side. Now I've looked inside here, and there's only one pot that is original, and that's the one with a little sticker on it there, which something K probably tells you the thing, but that is going to need rewired because I'm pretty sure those pots are crap, and it's had some bashes and dings there. But overall, and some bits there. But overall, it's a lovely guitar, but I haven't seen the neck yet. I haven't seen the workings. Looking at these things, they've had some screws replaced that are not matching the other screws, and there's some chunkiness to be done with. But I'm not going to make this new because it's got weathered, and it's got patina, and it's got age. So I think it's going to be a nice little guitar to work on. Let's listen. Well, let's listen to the electric first and see what we have and don't have. It's blustery and it's cold outside. Let's try these electrics and see what we got. I'm not expecting to hear beautiful sounds. Well, I'm hearing sounds, but let's just see what we've got in the way of. Well, got some volume though, I tell you. Like it. But the knob is sticky as hell. Oh. Something's not right there. There is some tonal differences, but it's only in the last tiny fraction of that knob. Doesn't make any difference in the tone. So really, I think the best thing to do is to replace the pots. I'm going to replace these knobs because we've got some knobs that'll make this guitar stand out, and the chappie says yes to that. I also have a knob for that as well. So I think get the electrics done first. See where we are. Right, okay, you could get a Jacob's cracker with some cheese on it through the underbow. Not a ham sandwich, it's not that bad, or a cheese sandwich, but a Jacob's cracker with some cheese on it. So, George, you're going to be finished chewing the strings? I'm just going to get it down to the barest minimum to get it cleaned. I'm thinking, what I was talking about, the paint there, in which I didn't finish, was that I think that paint is gloss, so it can stand being cleaned a bit. It just looks a bit dirty at the moment. I think I like it looking aged, but I don't like it looking dirty. It's been sprayed in there with white. I wonder if could that be done in the factory? I don't know. Let me just look at a just to see what we got in the way of cleaning to be done. Yeah, there's some dirt there, and it's not coming off with water, so that's good. So and mind you, I'm not going to use a cotton bud on it now. I'm testing it to see if the paint was waterproof, and it is, but it's quite dirty. So we'll give it a good clean and we'll try to fix that up. Now, can I take off the rest of the strings now? Are you happy for me to go and take the rest of the strings off? Why do people do this? I hate it when they tune guitars with leaving big round knobs on. Maybe it's a style thing, but it's just not me. Just takes away from the look of the guitar. And guitars are like sexy women. Lovely to look at. Should be hanging up on your wall. What? Who said that? Did I say that? No, I didn't say that. Has that been tied? Oh, it had. Right, okay. No, but they're very sexy looking things, guitars. Whether that's deliberate, whether they made the shape like a woman, I don't know, but I don't think so. Mind you, not too many women I know were shaped like that. Yes, these strings have been tied. And you know what I like, you know what I think about tied strings? Well, some of them have been tied. George, God, am I taking away your fun? I'm so sorry. Right, I'm not playing with you. It's just, it just happens to be that I'm pulling away at the same time as you. Right, there you go. Here, go play over there with that string. There you go. Just don't bite me when you're going for it. Oh, I'll get that one off later. Right, truss rod. Let's have a look at the truss rod to see what we've got in the way of movement. It's a rather large nut in it, so it's going to take a rather. Oh, look at that! First time, eh? What do you say? What do we have in the way? Oh, it's as loose as anything. So that bodes well. When it's loose like that, it bodes well. It's not been tightened before by the look of it. Let's just see what we got. Did I say it bodes well? It just seems to go tight very quickly. Let's just see what happens here. Just give it another turn. Yeah, that's great. That's a perfect. It's got a slight underbow, so that's good enough for me. In the summertime, when all the trees and leaves are green. Right, okay. This is moving along nicely. Let's get, Georgie girl, I need you to move a little bit, because I'm gonna go down there, and the guitar needs to move. So can you just move a little bit? I don't need you to go away. I'm just going to bring the camera down so people can see the pickups when I take the pickups off. Just see. This one lifts out easier. Look at that there. Look. Fuck's sake. and open. Look, the earth touching it virtually. Anyway, stop gurning, Austin. That's nicely done in there. Nicely done. Routered out. But somebody's since then decided to cut little router holes in it. Epiphone pickups. 223223. So that, they look pretty nice. Is that connected? Now, I think this one might just be jammed, so I'm going to use a little. Oh, it is just a bit jammed. But where is it? Where's the wiring going? Oh, I see. That was that screw at the end. It wasn't turning. Not that fond of this wiring job. Right, okay. This is. Let me just look at this. I think it says shoulder, but maybe not. Need my other glasses. It says Schaller pickup. Very nice. Oh, that's a good pickup, the Schaller pickup. It has some rust which has made it tight around the edges. So the Schaller pickup at the back and an Epiphone pickup at the front. Two nice pickups. Right. Two nice pickups. And what do I do about this? So did I not finish taking that off? Why didn't you tell me I hadn't finished taking that off? Silly boy. Do I just, this feels very brittle, this plastic. I think to get this to normal. Oh, is this one connected? There was one there that wasn't connected. There was a wire that wasn't connected. It could actually just be the earth, but it's hard to tell. Right, so I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to snip them. I'm going to snip them there and there. The brown wire is the only one connected there. Well, we'll figure out what things they were thinking of doing when they planned. George, you got to mind your road. This here looks. I'll chop it on that side. That Schaller looks like a decent pickup, and so does the Epiphone. But there's something that looks like it may be needing cleaned inside and some protection in it to make it stop it from getting any worse. Sometimes these pickups are worth more than a guitar. The spring's missing there. Oh, look what's falling through. What's all that? Did I? Oh, I put it in the box and the magnet was, yeah, so that is why the screws have fallen through, because this body inside has moved. So we'll get that all tidied up and cleaned up and get it back to where it should be. These I'll have to put new springs in, but obviously there's a screw hole there. Seems unusual. I think they sort of modernized it, sorry, not modernized it, butchered it a little bit to get this screw to raise it up and down, because that's not meant for two. That's meant for, well, look at the Epiphone one has got two screws. The Schaller one has only got one screw at the side, so they've done that. So we'll see if that needs to be adjusted, because it does look pretty ugly, but we'll see when we get down to it. I'm taking the screw off. A lot of turning. Okay, no, I'll do it later. I'll keep on going with what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, that's loose. It must have been serviced for a long time, because there's a whole lot of little things that need to be done. But what's 1972 this guitar would be made, and that's loose too. So 1972, and it's 50 years. So it's your 50th anniversary. You're getting a makeover. Congratulations, guitar. Oh, right, okay. So, yeah, that's the only originals one left, and it's faulty as well. So they're all going to have to come off. We've got to strip them all down. Let me just look. Let me just. If you want to have a wee nosy, you can have a wee nosy. I'll bring you down in to see it all. Even though it's more awkward for me. Look how self-sacrificing I'm. Get into focus. Right, there's a little RS component there. You might see my bald head, sorry. RS 233K 100 volts. And that one looks like a standard one. Let me just see. It's a 47K 550 hertz. Right, okay. So I'll be able to use some of that. But I'm going to take those off. Right, okay. Right, I think I'm going to pause now because I think the thing to do now is look at cleaning this. Do I need to pause or I just let it keep running? Because all I'm going to do is clean it. Nice looking. That's actually nicely made, that. Small things like that impress me. It's a nicely made guitar. You can tell they took time to make it because everything's sort of done precisely, which is very good. So yeah, is that hollow? No, it's not hollow. Little things that we do. Oh. Okay, laters. Well, my paint that I have, cream color, is far too far distant from the paint on the. You see, it's more of a yellowy, reddy colored cream than that. So what I'm going to try to do is use some white mixed up with a little bit of this just to see if I can get it close to color. I'll not show you that. I'll come back to you when I think I might have achieved something. Right, I'm going to do a little couple of test things because what I did is I used some of my darker color with the white and I'm just going to do a test patch to see if it'll dry into the same color. I don't think it's going to be exact, but we'll see what it dries like. Right, okay, stop and leave it and come back to it later when it's drier. I think it's better than it was, but that's going to take some work. Let's hope it dries darker. I'm pretty sure it will, but we'll see. Now I gotta clean this. Okay, later. Right, I'm just about to open up this Schaller pickup, and I thought you might want to join me because I'm using the edge. I know you may think that's a very large screwdriver, but I only have a gap there to do it without any damage. So the reason I'm opening this up is because it's spread that way, and I want to find out why it's spread that way and see if I can fix it so it'll fit better into the Pearl guitar. So yeah, and those screws also, and that all has to be cleaned up as well. So it looks like it's just expanded a bit. There's some wax there. There's nothing terribly wrong with it, but those screws are in an awful shape, so an awful shape. Maybe this is style over, yeah, maybe it's style over practicality, because I got a feeling the Epiphone pickup would be exactly the same. So let me just put that to the side and use my tool. Georgia girl is staring at me. You can't see her. She's about 6 inches away from this. She wants to be cuddled, but she hasn't come up on my shoulder yet. So we'll see what oh, this one's going to be easier to come out. Right. This is moving already. Right, I'm going to read up about these things. That earth isn't on. That could be a problem. That earth wasn't connected. But we'll see. We'll see what we shall see, what we shall see. Somebody's tried to connect that to the thing, but it didn't work. It was connected at there one stage, but maybe there's another earth in there that's connected there. So I'm going to read up about these things and do a little bit more studying on the screws missing there. There should be a screw there and there. Shouldn't there? Yes, there should be. But I'm going to read up about these because these look pretty, but maybe they're doing something to the sound quality. Well, we'll come back to you when I've discovered more. Okay, whilst I was cleaning that, which it is clean now, I'm just going to put a little bit of lacquer on that, but whilst I was cleaning the Epiphone one, I noticed the loose wire, which you saw on camera, and then I noticed a loose wire there, and then I realized that it's not connected at all. So what needs to be done is this wire connected to there, and this earth wire connected to there, and then put together again. But why was it disconnected in the first place? My hands are not as good. I need some polish on that to get rid of that. Okay, well, I'll come back to you when I'm further down the road. Is it just me, or does my bench get dirtier than other luthiers? It's everything together. Now, this is where we are. This is where we're working. I have rewired these, ready to go in. I've resealed them. Hopefully they're working. I've soldered the wires that were broken, and they're ready to rock and roll. I got a wiring diagram for a Schaller. Schaller are wires slightly different, so I have bought that from the internet, brought it from the internet, and I also, every time I do a wiring now, I have a schematic of what I want to do. Even though it looks pretty standard, I need the schematic. Now, just in case I make a mistake, this is the old wiring loom here, and this is the way it should be wired. And if you look at this, you'll see that it is wired exactly the way it should be wired. I just don't have anything to point with at the moment. So you got the capacitor going from there to there. You got the other capacitor going from there to there, and the earth wire going around it, and all the things nicely. Now, I'm keeping that, and also the wiring of the switch. I'm keeping that just handy. But I did notice on this one that the earth is not connected to the potentiometer, and also this one the earth is not connected, it's loose. So that could cause some problems. It looks like, from my humble opinion, it looks like the soldering iron they used wasn't strong enough to heat the potentiometer as well. So I'm going to take off these brown wire. Well, actually, I'm sorely tempted to chuck that and start again with new potentiometers, because you notice at the beginning I did say that they were a bit crinkly and crackly, and they still are a little bit, but I've oiled them, I've WD-40'd them, and you know, I could be wasting my time completely. Actually, that one feels very gritty. I could still be wasting my time completely doing this with these, because that's the only original, and it's gritty as well. You can feel it grinding in there. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to start from scratch. I was hoping that I might be able to use them after spraying them last night, but they're still a bit. And this is not seen. It'd be nice to keep it, but that's the only thing left original. So I'm going to try to keep the two capacitors, take that apart completely, and come back to you when I'm building the new one. I'm going to build a new one probably on camera, but taking this apart, no. There you are, all nicely ready to go into the guitar, to wire the pickups to it and the switches. And if you look at that schematic, you'll see it's very similar indeed to what I've done. I've given myself a little bit more leeway with the wiring, but the earthing and everything's done. Instead of running wires from there to there, I just folded over the tabs and soldered them to the body. So the next thing I do is I put them in the body, and these are brass ones. I use some good brass ones, so I'm going to put that to the side now, and I'm going to finish off touching up the guitar, because it actually came out better than I thought it would do, the guitar. If you just look there, you'll see that the color is not that crazy far away from it, and it does hide a few sins. I just have to do the bigger thing. So later when I get this into the guitar, I'll come back to you. This was a pain because it was a single and a double on that side, but that pickup only had a single there and a single there, so I had to weld two washers together, put them in there and weld them with solder to the brass frame. Now that wouldn't take solder very well, so I had to use copper wires and washers and everything, but it's solid now and it's working. That was a pain to do. It took an hour. Okay, you probably may not have noticed, but this is now almost 2 weeks later. I threw the head up at this thing and put it to the side to give my head a bit of peace to settle down, because I was having so much trouble with the pickups. But I managed to get them fixed, and I had to do some very crazy gerrymandering of the wiring to get it to work. And this is working perfectly now, but I had to do some weird wiring. I'm going to tidy that up before it goes into the thing. So that's about all I'm going to show you of that. Whenever I come back again, I'm going to have the pickups in and done. I'm just looking there to see if it's got a bridge or a neck notification on it, but it doesn't, so we'll see. Well, I'll maybe look more deeply. So there we go. Well, what a marathon. What a marathon. But we've got it wired. Oh gosh, what a marathon it was. So that's it wired. I had to replace the pots. I think you saw that. I had to rewire that, and I had to rewire that. I had to replace that, and I had to rewire all the inside. I haven't tidied it up yet. and I had to put a new jack on the end. So it's nearly completely new, same pickups, but completely new wiring all around because it was just in such a mess. And boy, it was awkward to get because the thin wires in that were broken and the poles were broken off that. Anyway, that's where I am. Going to tidy up, and then I'm going to start doing the real guitar setup. Right, we're going to get down to do this neck now, get some serious work done. And I'll probably speed through this, but first of all I'll check the fret leveling just in case I find anything. But if I don't find anything, I'll speed through it. Here we go, ain't that looking beautiful? And I ain't even got this on it yet, which I'm going to put on it. But it really is looking smashing. And then I got to do something with the head and all, but we'll worry about that next. I think most of the thing that I have to look at now is cosmetic anyway. So... that's all coffee stained. And it looks like it's been lacquered over the top of the lacquer. So it's breaking away from the lacquer. So they've actually put lacquer over lacquer. Maybe when this guy did this painting, you know, this weird painting, he put another coat of lacquer over it. But I can't do anything about that because I'd have to take off the lacquer. And I can't do that. So now I think I'm just going to polish off the neck and put another coat on. That looks gorgeous. I'll put one more coat on it, not on camera, and then I'll polish it off. And then I'm going to clean the body. Okay, come back to you later. Well, it's me again. Hello. No glasses on because my eyes are sore today. I'm trying not to wear them. But here you are. I'm beginning to think I'm an old guitar tart because I tend to almost love every guitar that comes through my bench. Well, I do know that I don't love all of them because there's some of those Floyd Rose guitars and stuff like that that I dislike. Now, this is a smart looking guitar. If you're on stage, you'd be rocking this, wouldn't you? I wish I could. One of the things that I hate is doing the demo because I can't do guitars justice. But this sounds smart, sounds great, and it looks great. I think it looks great. Forgot till I was reviewing the video that I said I would put on these knobs for him. And they do tend to look a lot better than those cheap silver ones over there. So yes, this is just an addendum to everything, which I'll stick in before we close the video down. But I do think that does help improve the whole thing a lot. I love that, whatever that, it's not a tiger stripe, it's just a flowing, that would really look rock and roll on the stage, wouldn't it, you know? So I can't play rock and roll, but... I meant to
say about this guitar is that I have yet to have a guitar on my bench that has action as good as that. This is the best action I've had on my bench. It is literally, well, I don't know what you would call that. That's tiny, infinitesimal action down there. And there's no buzzing. But how that neck does it, I don't know. But it's a wonderful action. I really think that's impressive. Pickups are pretty good now. Listen, I think this one could do with being replaced because amount of work I had to do on it. And it's less powerful than the back one. But the two together have a perfect combination. And it's staying in tune pretty well, although I tend to think this guitar could do with better pickups, better tuners. These are not bad, they're easy to work, but they're old school. They're not, those are not great tuners, but they're replace the tuners with a good thing. Replace the tuners would be a good thing. Replace that with a Epiphone pickup that's not broken. That I had to do so much to repair that, it's hard to believe. And that one too had to be repaired, but I managed to get that one salvaged. This one had weird wiring to get it right, you know, and all the knobs are working well. Now, this guitar, here's an interesting thing, right? This guitar, I've left the back relicked, fairly well relicked, because it's got a lot of bits and pieces on it. And the neck I didn't touch either. I made a point of taking away some of the repairs in it. But I did touch up the front just to take any scratches and all that, take away from the look of it. But here's the interesting thing. You see, if you took this guitar and you stripped this down completely and repainted it again black, you'd probably lose about 400 quid. Because the way it's relic now with that design and everything, you probably get 700 to 800 quid for this guitar because it's a pearl, fairly rare, solid mahogany, great sounding. But you strip it and put it back down to a plain black, and I think you'd lose a lot of money on it. But this is a great little guitar. Again, I repeat about leaving the distress on it. Someone had tried to repair the distress, and this would be an unusual guitar. The front, I've touched up. You can see how I put a little bit of paint there to take away, because it took away from the overall design of it. But that keep the front design looking good, but you see the relicking of it in the back? Don't try to repair that. Somebody's tried to repair that with super glue and stuff like that there. And you just let it be in this kind of guitar. 1970s pearl guitar. Let it show a little bit of age. It doesn't do any harm. But there you are. I've talked too much. And this is a lovely guitar. I really do like it. I actually tried to learn what was it? Oh, diddly 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 dee 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 dee. What do you call that? All right now, but I'm too lazy to learn it properly. So, but it's a great guitar, and I do love it, and the action is to die for. Oh, that was me. That's a little bit better. Okay, let's try my favorite chord and let you go. Well, it's going home. Say goodbye. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. I really do wish I could do guitars more justice, but there you go. I fix them. I'm not a great player. I'm not even a good player. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.